Post-Roe America is a rapidly changing landscape. Since the Supreme Court handed down the Dobbs decision in June, overturning the infamous Roe v. Wade abortion case, the battle lines have been drawn.
Tonight, the landmark ruling.
The Supreme Court has overturned Roe v. Wade.
It is a tectonic shift on abortion rights.
Some states have taken immediate steps to protect innocent human life, while other locations have literally dubbed themselves abortion destination or even abortion tourist states and cities. One of the abortion destination states is New Mexico, which allows abortion unrestricted until the point of birth. In fact, abortion businesses all over the South are moving here, and the number of abortion facilities may soon triple or even quadruple in the state.
This is the new ground zero and biggest question in the post-Roe abortion battle. How do we reach mothers in crisis before they're tempted to cross state lines? And then, how do we best serve them and help them to choose life for their preborn children once they've traveled hundreds of miles to the next nearest abortion facility? I knew that if we wanted to help save lives and end abortion in this new era, I had a journey there to understand what this all looked like, what we were up against, and learn how we can gradually turn hearts and minds and eventually see an abortion destination state like New Mexico defend life. I started my journey in borderland visiting Santa Teresa and Las Cruces.
We're right on the state line, literally between the two most extreme states on the life issue. Texas, where life is now protected from the moment it comes into existence, and New Mexico, where it's just kind of a free-for-all. And so abortionists are able to do late-term abortions even up through the third trimester until the moment of delivery.
Our governor talks about what she considers women's health care rights, but doesn't concern her at all that women are being sent to birth stillborn children in hotels.
So many women coming to an abortion center have a faith background, and they're praying for some kind of sign if they should go through with this or not. And so often they'll cite that they just saw someone out praying on their knees on their sidewalk, and that was their sign. And so we need that there. We got to a point where we were seeing 4 or 5 turnaways a day, just constantly caravanning with women to bring them over to our local Guiding Star Women's Center. Now there's a different level of desperation. The women that we're seeing have invested so much into, oftentimes they have gotten a plane ticket and they've flown across the state. They've gotten hotel rooms, they've rented rental cars. And by the time they show up at the abortion facility, they'll say, I've got to catch a plane back home in a few hours.
Now the new location of the Pink House, the abortion facility, Jackson's Women's Health Organization, that was at issue in the Dobbs case. So we are here, they just moved here again to Las Cruces, New Mexico, and again, we're at ground zero in pro-abortion post-Roe America.
They are being referred from centers to here. They're going to their local centers and saying, where do we go? The people in Houston I've seen referred to Planned Parenthood in Las Cruces. The people in Dallas typically get referred here. I see a ton of women from Midland and Odessa here.
By the time they get here, they're even more committed to obtaining this abortion because the abortion facilities, the referral centers in Texas have already given them a gift card.
They're being paid for by abortion funds like the NAF Hotline or the NAREL Action Fund or the West Fund or the Mariposa Fund. These organizations are paying the doctors for the abortions in about 50% of the cases.
So that by the time they come to New Mexico and they encounter a Sidewalk Advocate, or somehow they come to a pregnancy center like ourselves, they almost feel more pressure to obtain the abortion because it's already been paid for.
We started to see a significant increase of women traveling from across the state of Texas, 16 hours across the state. We had a line of women literally going out the door around the abortion clinic from Houston, Texas, from Austin, from Lubbock for an abortion because this was the nearest place that they could go.
We were seeing roughly about 4,000 abortions a year total. Almost every one of these cars here today of women coming in are from Texas.
We've really just been feeling overwhelmed and overrun by really what is this predatory abortion industry that is flocking now to this area where abortion still remains completely unrestricted and unregulated.
In New Mexico, CYFD has mandatory reporting. If someone comes in and their child has certain kinds of injuries, they look for signs of abuse. But when those same signs of abuse are present, when someone, let's say, underage is being brought to an abortion clinic by someone not their parent, no questions are asked, there's no mandatory report. And so how many, especially now that we're a destination state to this degree, how many victims of sex trafficking are brought to New Mexico, specifically from Texas, Arizona, Colorado, for abortions that are being used as a form of birth control from someone who's trapped in the sex trade?
It's the shame, especially in a state where so many people have expressed their concerns about third trimester abortions and a lack of regulation or oversight of the abortion industry.
This isn't a scenario confined to the Southwest. It's playing out all over the country as abortion legislation continues to evolve. No matter the legal status of abortion in a given state, pregnant moms still need support.
So being here on the ground in New Mexico, it was so interesting to hear them name all the major Texas cities that women were coming from: Dallas, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, Lubbock, McAllen, right? And their message to all of us was clear. If you are in an abortion restricted community now, if abortion is illegal in your state, we really need to be there to serve these women before they're tempted to come across state lines. So they're going to maybe an abortion referral facility in a community in Texas, and they're hearing about how they can get across state lines. Maybe somebody is offering to pay for their travel. They're getting a gas gift card thrown at them. And at that point, you know, they're still thinking about it, but then maybe they haven't made a full commitment. We can be there with life-affirming resources to help them to resource their situation right at that moment before they're tempted to cross state lines and take the life of their child. It's so much easier. We've seen it on the ground firsthand that women are actually, because abortion is not readily available, you know, going ahead and getting on a mobile unit more readily, or going to a pregnancy resource center nearby, really interested in our services as they're still really weighing this decision out. But by the time that they've made that commitment to that drive, to that flight, and they actually end up in New Mexico, and I've met some of them on the sidewalk just yesterday, it is so much harder to get them to pause. It's that psychology of influence, commitment, and consistency. They've made a commitment to doing this by this time. It is so much harder to get your mind around the travel back home, what it's going to cost, the time and the energy and the effort to find a new solution to your crisis, right? And so again, we are hearing of turnarounds in abortion destination cities and states, but it is so much harder. People need you in abortion restricted communities to be on the ground, to be there for the women of your community at your local Planned Parenthood abortion referral facility, or to find a way to go to a high traffic area in your community to reach women before they are tempted to make a commitment to going across state lines and taking the life of their child.
We had someone from Portales call us, and they said, Whole Woman's Health, an abortion clinic out of Texas, wants to set up in your backyard. So we looked online, and sure enough, they had a GoFundMe page already set up. They had a big star right over Hobbs, and they said, we want to move here. The only solution, and the first step that we must take in that is always to pray. We always have to ask the Lord to intervene for us. And then we got the worst news that we could have ever imagined. They did buy a building. We had until next Friday, and they were going to be closing on it. We're only 3 miles from the Texas border. This community is the closest point for all of West Texas to come and get an abortion.
We're so grateful that even though, you know, they were targeting here, that there's some people that have stood up and said this isn't going to happen in Lee County.
And then the miracle happened. No one knew how, no one knew why, and sometimes that's how miracles happen. The deal fell through.
A few weeks back, I would have been devastated to be here. This was to be the abortion clinic in Lee County. Since then, things have happened. We don't know exactly what.
The building was back up on the market. The deal fell through. They weren't going to be moving into that facility. For us, abortion has always been a problem up in Albuquerque. It's always been a problem over in Las Cruces. For 50 years, it's been 5 hours away. We have so many resources in our community that are life-affirming, both for mother and for baby. We don't currently have an abortion facility, even though an abortion facility is looking to move in, but we do already have a crisis pregnancy center. We do already have an organization called Embrace Grace that helps young mothers. They'll actually throw them baby showers when perhaps they don't have the family to throw them a baby shower and help out. We already have, there's a great organization called Emma's Closet. They help out with foster families.
While communities in New Mexico take what steps they can to protect themselves from being taken over and turned into abortion destinations by the abortion industry, knowing nothing is foolproof, it's clear we must be at the ready to meet mothers in crisis, ready to go wherever the abortion industry goes, and active in nearby abortion-restricted states, meeting women on the sidewalk before they're tempted to cross state lines.
I'm here in Houston, Texas, in front of what used to be the largest abortion facility in the Western Hemisphere. It's now the largest abortion referral facility in the country. In other words, this facility, like many other Planned Parenthood centers in Post-Roe America, is now serving primarily as a gateway to abortion businesses over 300 miles away. A couple weeks after the Dobbs decision was handed down, our Sidewalk Advocates told us Planned Parenthood was giving $300 gas gift cards to women to encourage them to take their business across state lines. Our local team in the early days of Post-Roe America helped dozens of women get connected to life-affirming help and resources, and the vast majority of them chose life. One Friday in July, in fact, in just 5.5 hours on the sidewalk, our team helped 14 women who were prospectively seeking an out-of-state referral at Planned Parenthood get connected with the mobile ultrasound bus here run by the pregnancy help organization Houston Coalition for Life. And the greater majority, after receiving an ultrasound and holistic options counseling, chose life. These women realized they truly did have other options. We are finding that Houston, Texas is not an anomaly. Everywhere abortion is illegal, our Sidewalk Advocate teams are saying that women in general are more open to options and resources, making the case for people of faith and conscience like you and me to have an outreach presence at abortion referral facilities, knowing that so many women are still going there to explore their options.
The solution is clear. We need the presence of loving, prayerful, peaceful sidewalk advocates outside every abortion facility in states where abortion is legal. And in states where abortion is banned or limited, outside facilities referring women across state lines. We invite you to be part of the solution. Join our national prayer team. Start a location outside your local abortion or abortion referral facility. Join an existing Sidewalk Advocates for Life location, or make a sacrificial gift to help our mission to keep going and growing. Our goal is to cover every abortion and abortion referral facility in America with the presence of Sidewalk Advocates. And with lives literally on the line every single day, it's so clear that this is no time for anyone with a heart for life to take a back seat. The movement needs all of us working together to support pregnant women and help them access the local resources they may not even realize exist. Join us in this great mission to make a post-Roe America an abortion-free America, and help us help women in New Mexico, in Texas, and in every single corner of this country. Together, with God's grace, we can see miracles.